here in my living room. You get some things changed around here. That's weird. If there's anybody watching that can see me, say hello in the chat. Okay, there it goes. Alright. I couldn't see myself on YouTube for some reason. Alright, there we go. We do have some active people right now. Sending the word out into the Tamaya Cloudbuster Owner Society for people to come and join me. Alright. Now, let's start with the fun, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, so I've kind of already started without a lot of you guys on here tonight. I have been thrashing just a little bit on this truck right here. Reckless intent, as you can see. I've already taken the tires off of it. I am about to take the motors out of this truck and throw them in my gravedigger. Mainly because these are 5700s and those are 46s, and I kind of want the power of the 5700 floor poles for the next race. So until I can actually buy some new motors, I'm just going to take them out of this truck, throw them in that one, run them, see how they do. Main reason, I don't know if you all follow me or if you all have seen the video from the last Trigger King race. Excuse me. Digger kind of did one of these. It didn't have any power in the front to pull the front end back up in the air, so the truck just nosed over really hard, actually bounced roof first right off a curb, and then flew back up onto the wheels. So it made for a cool moment, but it made for a lot of bent parts. Let me move this around here real quick so I can actually see the chat. There we go. Alright, so I'll swap these 5700s out. If anybody happens to ask while I'm not looking, they are Castle motors. These are 4-pole, and the 4600s that I have in my gravedigger are actually the 2-pole motors, which to me work better on carpet than they do actually outdoors. You know, it'd probably work if I took this body off too. This body has seen better days, just so everybody knows. Okay, fall on the floor. We'll do it that way. Get these body pins in here so I don't lose them later. And by the way, this is an Absolute Chaos racing chassis designed by Bob Chandler. Bob C. Chandler, not the Bob Chandler, his son. Well, he's the Bob Chandler too, so. Bobby's got some kick-ass trucks too, by the way. If you see him on there, the ACRC Bigfoot is astonishing to watch, as well as his Chaos truck. He can go. He started out in Trigger King. He had a Bigfoot Nation truck and what was that other one? Bigfoot Centennial, which is one of my favorite paint schemes ever from Bigfoot. And those trucks were forces to be reckoned with back in the early days of the Trigger King series. He could make real nice tight corners. He didn't quite have the straightaway speed, but those tight corners made him deadly consistent, so it was tough to beat him even with all this power that I'm pushing. Does this thing tell me how many viewers I got? Well, I thought it did, but I guess it don't. Oh well. If there's anybody watching that I know, feel free to say hi. I like to talk. Everybody knows that. Simple as that. These motors are out. Don't want to lose those screws, so I'll be very careful when I set that down. And here comes the big boy. It's the one they all come to see, Army. I do have to finish the lights that I did in the last video. I still have to get the tape around the ends out here, otherwise positive and negative would be touching, and that's bad, and I might blow out my lights. And I still have to glue them in too. Quick little shock test, and you might want to... No, it's alright. Make sure it's all tight. Alright. No, that's a loose wheel right there. Goes to show you, always check your trucks after your last race. And I had not checked mine yet. So that was probably a good idea that I went ahead and decided to do this tonight. Because I found a loose wheel. Loose wheels are bad. Just so everyone knows, they're very bad. Very bad. Now that last truck that I just set down on the floor is taking this season off. It's an ACRC chassis. You might notice this one's quite a bit different. This is a ZRP Diablo chassis built for its Maya Clodbuster. And very versatile chassis. It's one of the best racing chassis out there, whether anybody wants to admit it to themselves or not. John Zick puts out some good parts. ZRP Racing on Facebook. John does quality work, and sometimes he sells some stuff pretty cheap for really good deals. So if you're interested in anything, hit him up, find his page. Do a little more checking out on this truck here shortly. Now that I got the tires off, I can kind of see a little bit better in here. sure everything is proportionate. Whoops. Don't grip. Oh, that's nice. It's already... No, it's not ripping yet. Okay. For anybody that doesn't know, these little rubber grommets right here to put in these chassis, they're a pain in the butt. And I just put a new, like 8 brand new ones in here because I swap this wheelbase around every now and then just to mess with the settings. And it looks like I've already got one starting to rip on this side. And these little rubber grommets are a pain in the you-know-where to put in the you-know-what. Make sure nothing's bent. Everything was tight when I fidgeted with it here a little bit ago. Yank these motor wires out. Oh, ow. That one was in there good. Damn. It's nice and tight. You can tell I ain't taken these out in a while. In this truck I have virtually always ran these 2-pole motors. I absolutely love these 2-pole motors. A lot of people know me. They know that I swear by the 2 poles, but I went out and I bought these 4 poles, and I just look at the way other trucks perform with the 4-pole motors in them, and I'm just like, wow, there's more power there than I remember. Because I can remember guys coming into the Illinois series that I used to race in with these 4-pole motors and barely making it down the straightaway. I mean, they'd come out of the corner and they'd be top end like halfway down the straightaway, whereas my motors with my 2 poles, I would be top end 3/4 to almost all the way down the straightaway. So I was still building speed all the way down the straightaway while they were topped out. So they may gain on me out of the corner, but I'm gaining on them coming into the corner, and that's kind of the way I liked it way back in the day. Don't want to get the motors confused, so we will swap everything out. Another thing too is it seems like a lot of people are going to censored motors, and it's something that I've never really tried. I'd like to try a truck out with censored motors just to see how it would feel. Everybody's always telling me that I'm running outdated technology anyway. Seems like that's always the case with me. I've always been a fan of, well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of deal, you know. Tighten these things down nice and tight. Alright, let me check something real quick. You can tell I'm still new to this live streaming stuff. I'm just trying to check everything out. I can remember which port goes where. We'll be alright. Do it this way. What goes back here? Red, white, black. Yep, red, white, black. I know that. I don't know why I looked at it, but sometimes it's always good to check. Oh, is there anybody out there with any questions, comments, anything? Seems kind of dead tonight. Last time I did this, I had a pretty good little chat with quite a few people, and now it seems like there's nobody out there. I see one guy has said something. That's VS Productions. If he's still here, how's it going, man? What's up? That one's in there pretty good. Go ahead and yank these two out, I guess. There we go. You can tell those motors have seen some use. Poor motors. Maybe that's part of the reason too that these are kind of like that. And maybe this truck has been, it feels like it's been sluggish here lately with these motors. I mean, I've ran these motors pretty much since the day I got the truck. So we got about 3 years, yeah, almost 3 years of use on that set of motors. Well, I take that back. I've actually swapped motors on these, I think, maybe a year and a half ago. Because I forgot I did burn up. Well, I didn't really burn up a motor. It was just, it didn't want to work for some reason. It kept twitching out on me. So I'd go to races and I'd get disgusted, and it worked. It kind of worked for a little while, then it'd cut out. It worked for a little while, then it'd cut out, and it gets real tiresome when it works all day and you get to a final round and you get beat because your rear motor's stuttering, you know. Questions, comments, anything? Anything at all? Bueller? I wonder if I could... I don't think that's going to hurt anything. I don't think them are going to come out. Even though they did come out on my Reckless Intent truck a few times. I don't like how that looks. Just all those wires sticking up in the air, but I'll have to figure out something later for them. Okay, that works. Alright, the motors are in. I'm trying to decide, do I want to go with Rumbles, or do I want to go with my other set of tires I got over there, the Proline Destroyers? Methinks I'm going to go get my Destroyers. Because last race, I don't know if anybody watched the racing portion of the event, these things just slid everywhere on concrete. Could not get them to grip, could not do anything. I was getting my proverbial butt handed to me for some reason. Everybody with the Destroyers could kind of go wherever they pleased out there, except for 1 or 2 trucks out there. Guys are used to Rumbles. I was used to Rumbles. I love my Rumbles, but for some reason I've gotten used to these Destroyers here lately, so I think I'm going to swap back to the Destroyers on this truck for the event, and Gotham City Crusher, which y'all saw in the last video, is probably going to run the Rumbles because they fit for that truck. Be right back. Forgot these things still have those BKT logos on them. Oh. I don't know how well I could show it on a slick table, but you can kind of feel the resistance right there. These things, not so much. So I believe I will just swap tires, and I will steal the lug nuts from Reckless and throw on here, tighten those mofos down. Shall do the front first. Anybody out there at all tonight watching? Am I just talking to myself tonight? Y'all seem real quiet. If there's anybody out there. Anybody? Anybody at all? Really get this tight. Smooth. Heck's that? These were sitting in there on that inside of that body for a little too long. It looks like there's some paint rubbed off on them. That's why I don't like chrome paint. Everybody's always telling me, hey, when you gonna run a chrome body? When you gonna run the chrome body? You know, I would love to run a chrome body if the chrome paint would actually stick on to the friggin' body. People have bagged, like this one I've got, it's backed in black, and for some reason I was a dummy. I put these tires sitting inside the chrome Gravedigger body that I've got, sat in there, and now for some reason it don't like me. It wants to peel up. I don't understand it. So if I run the chrome body, it's probably only going to be once, it looks like, because it might pop right out. I've got a Gravedigger 25th anniversary chrome body that I ran once, I think maybe twice actually. I ran that body, and the chrome just peeled up like you wouldn't believe. And everybody knows me, I beat the living tar out of my trucks. Always have, always will. It's a monster truck. It's meant to... You guys have been talking to me in the chat, really, because it's not showing me. I only see one person that has said anything. Stream is offline. No, this stream is online. Oh, I've got 8 people watching me. What in the heck? Is there a way to refresh the chat or what here? Well, what in the world? Hold on just 1 second here. We'll be right back.